promoting a healthy environment. It's the air we breathe. Clean, safe water. Responsible management of our natural resources. We protect and restore for a sustainable future. Environment matters.
The competition itself tries to show the public how easy it is to be energy efficient and sustainable, how different practices in different houses can look good, can be cost effective and energy efficient at the same time.
A 2-year-long project nears completion as students at WVU and beyond prepare to take part in an international competition in California. Plus,
we're able to, educate people, get people involved, offer multiple opportunities for them to do simple things even just in their daily life, to work towards a more sustainable future for everybody.
Showing new students there's more to Marshall Green than the school's colors. We'll tag along on a walk down the green trail. Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Environment Matters. I'm Greg Adolphson.
And I'm Kelley Gillenwater. Energy efficient homes are something most of us take for granted.
Or at least until it's time to pay our monthly utility bills. But that may change, thanks to a group of students from West Virginia University and their partners from the University of Rome, Tor Vergata.
The DEP's Jake Glantz joins us now with more about a special building project that's taking place in Morgantown.
Well, Kelley, Greg, the competition is called the Solar Decathlon. It's a program from the U.S. Department of Energy that challenges teams of college students to design, build, and operate solar-powered houses and helps prepare them to enter the nation's clean energy workforce. If you've spent any time around West Virginia University's Evansdale campus recently, you've probably noticed there's a lot of construction going on. But if you look carefully, in the middle of all that earth-moving equipment, there's a different sort of house being built.
One of the big challenges of the project is, building a house in West Virginia and then taking it down and shipping it to California and then rebuilding it in 9 days. So that's something that we always have to consider in every step of every move we make. How do we build it and how do we make sure that it's going to come down easily and get rebuilt easily at the same time. So that's something that we start with day one thinking about. Exactly how we're going to break it, how we're going to ship it to. So a lot of that plays into our entire project and our design as well. It's not just a normal house that goes up and comes back down.
The project house is a compact design that features a large open living area that features a kitchen and dining area. The northern section of the house contains more private spaces, including a bedroom, bathroom, and utility room. Outside, the design takes its styling cues from a Roman-inspired arch, which supports the home's solar array and provides a shaded outdoor patio space. It also takes advantage of the individual strengths the two universities bring to the project.
Yeah, that's a pretty good aspect of this project, I guess, and maybe one of the strong thing of our team, because we are mixing two cultures, and not only that, but we are mixing two universities. And for example, the University of Rome Tor Vergata has the architecture and the energy team that WU doesn't have. So we are mixing these two skills together, so we can work better and together.
But it's not been without its challenges.
One of the big challenges there is a 6-hour time difference in terms of planning meetings, and especially for the first year where it's all designed and you have to work together very collaboratively. We've come to a lot of different ways of trying to communicate with each other in terms of text messages and emails and site planning. So a lot of that plays into it, into how to build the house and how we designed it.
And then there's the logistics. Building a house in West Virginia is one thing, but then taking it apart, shipping it all the way across the country, and then putting it back together and getting it up and running in just 9 days. Well, that's another thing entirely.
The big challenge is making sure that all the materials are coming on time, and the materials we need here are here, and the materials we need in California get there. So certain aspects of the house, can't get installed until California, only because it can't be shipped or it can't be broken down. And so a lot of that goes into time management and planning and making sure that all the logistics are figured out.
We need to organize everything. We have everything scheduled. So we are able to do that. We have like different time to work, so we can switch people. If it's time for the electrical team will be on site to work on that. Then we switch with the architecture team to do something else. So
it's a lot of thinking outside of the box. You don't necessarily think of, oh, let's just put this down. It's thinking of, how are you going to put this down? How are you going to take it apart? How are you going to ship it? How are you going to put it back in a lot less time as well? We've learned a lot more of practical design and practical communication skills that it takes a lot more than just talking to someone to collaborate. It takes a lot of sit-downs, a lot of working together, and a lot of working with other people.
But it's the hands-on experience that will help give these students a major boost when it comes time to start their career.
That's pretty challenging, and I'm personally double majoring in civil engineering and architecture, so this aspect is really interesting for me because I used to see this stuff just on the laptop, and now I can personally work on this stuff and personally build the house. It's awesome because I never did that, and it's my first time on site. I can personally cut the wood, put the wood up, so it's really interesting. And in Italy we don't do that. We don't even have like internships, so we don't see practical stuff, just theoretical stuff, and this experience is amazing.
As the name suggests, the Solar Decathlon teams are judged in 10 areas, including architecture, market appeal, engineering, affordability, comfort, and energy balance. Successful designs are required to produce as much or more energy than they consume while maintaining comfort and healthy indoor environmental conditions. Judging takes place in Irvine, California in October. For Environment Matters, I'm Jake Glantz.
Thanks, Jake. The Solar Decathlon was first launched in 2002. This year's competition will feature 14 different teams.
Let's go Mountaineers! Improving our environment through conservation was taking place at a much younger age in Putnam County earlier this month. The project was called Wonderful World of Water Day Camp. The 2-day camp took place at the Public Library in Eleanor and was hosted by the library and West Virginia American Water. Kids aged 7 to 11 took part in hands-on educational activities that highlighted water conservation and watershed protection.
It's so important to reach kids at this age because this is really the foundation of where they are learning and they are understanding, and they're just really grasping all the concepts on why it is so important to be good stewards of our water and our water resources. And they're excited. They're really excited to learn. They're really excited to understand more. And when we put it into games and crafts and fun activities, that's really when they are embracing everything that they're learning, and they're learning without even realizing they're learning. So it's really a win-win for everyone.
The DEP recently held a public meeting to accept suggestions for criteria changes and additions as part of the upcoming triennial review for the West Virginia Water Standards Rule, which will be proposed by the DEP next year for consideration in the 2017 legislative session. DEP water quality standards staff also answered questions regarding proposed aluminum and selenium aquatic life criteria revisions that will go before the legislature in 2016. The Office of Special Reclamation was also on hand to answer questions regarding planned remediation measures for the Martin Creek and Sandy Creek watersheds of Preston and Barber counties.
The annual Kanawha River Sweep is set for Saturday, September 5th. Cleanup sites include Winfield Beach, St. Albans Roadside Park, the South Charleston Boat Ramp, Magic Island in Charleston, and Kanawha Falls at Glen Ferris. This event brings together local volunteers to remove litter from the banks of the Kanawha River. Each year, tons of trash are collected and disposed of properly. The DEP's REAP program will supply bags and gloves for volunteers and will arrange for trash to be hauled away. All volunteers also receive free t-shirts for their efforts. The first cleanup, back in 1990, attracted close to 100 volunteers who removed everything from an abandoned and sunken towboat to appliances and even automobiles. Fortunately, the trash is much smaller these days, mostly bottles and cans and various pieces of plastic.
National Pollution Prevention Week is set to start September 21st. It celebrates the 25th anniversary of the passage of the Pollution Prevention Act by Congress, which made it the national policy of the United States that pollution should be prevented or reduced at its source whenever feasible.
The practice is known as source reduction, which is the ounce of prevention approach to waste management. Reducing the amount of pollution means less waste to control, treat, and dispose of, all of which means fewer hazards to public health and the environment.
Each one of us contributes a little bit to the pollution of our environment, but there are ways that we all as individuals can reduce that impact. The DEP's Brianna Hickman has more.
Let's start with water. The first step to reducing water pollution is by not wasting it. Conserve water by turning off your taps when running water continuously isn't necessary, like when brushing your teeth or shaving. This not only saves water, it also reduces the amount of contaminated water that needs to be treated. Be septic smart. Don't throw paints, oils, unused medicines, or other forms of litter down the drain or toilet. Use environmentally friendly household products such as detergents and cleaning agents. A malfunctioning septic system can create health hazards and pollute groundwater and streams, but there are a few simple things system owners can do to reduce the risk. Fix those leaking toilets and faucets. Space out your laundry loads. Route surface water drainage away from your leach field and have your tank pumped every 2 or 3 years. In your landscape, take care not to overuse pesticides and fertilizers to prevent runoff into nearby streams and rivers. You can also help by planting a rain garden. Rain gardens help absorb excess runoff from your house and reduce the amount that reaches a storm drain. For Environment Matters, I'm Brianna Hickman.
Thanks, Brianna. We'll have more tips for pollution prevention throughout the program.
Coming up, the U.S. EPA finalizes its Clean Power Plan. We'll have reaction. Plus, taking a hike on the Green Trail. Marshall University shows off some of its sustainability initiatives to a new class of incoming freshmen. Those stories and more when Environment Matters continues.